Attention everybody, the views expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate subordinate ministries and or nonprofits. Good morning! Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts. Matt and Jay! Wow! Hey! Matt
Oh, I'm supposed to be doing something.
Yes, Jay, you are.
Regret was my heart, you see.
Sherry Brushwood, one of my new...
This is how
What?
it will always be. 2, 3, but that's all changed. That's all changed. And you say,
Oh, good morning, everybody. Sorry, Jay. You didn't. I told you that's what I was putting. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
and we're glad to have everybody on board with us today. Today's title of the show, it was last minute. I couldn't think of anything else. Jay's at that age.
Oh, man.
I mean, to be fair, you're at that age too, and I'm starting to get to that age.
Yes, but you got a little ways.
Well, you know, I'm at a certain age.
You're at that mid-age.
Yeah. I'm immature.
No.
I know, right?
No.
No way. Morning, Steve O. Mickey Mac. Morning, Steve Schultz and Rachel O. Mickey Mac.
Yes, Rachel, love you. Thanks for...
Aww. Rachel O. Mickey Mac, actually Rachel McAllister, is your wife.
Yes.
And a lovely woman she is. And God bless her for putting up with you.
Amen. Dude, you heard that first right here, Rachel.
Zip it, Steve.
Excuse me?
Schultz.
Oh.
Steve Schultz.
Oh.
Did you say,
Phew.
squeeze me? Baking powder?
I'm like...
I don't
I
know.
was
I
like,
don't
wow,
know what
he's
that's
actually
from.
talking to me.
I think
like,
that's
wow.
from Wayne's World.
I talk to you all the time.
I know you do. No, I mean, the way... Well...
You need an attention, Steve.
No, well, you said zip
No.
it, Steve.
Yeah, you
While
said
he was
zip it.
trying
I'm
to
like...
say something.
Well, it's like, come on, zip it. You've never told me that.
Zip it good.
Good morning, Marcia.
Martianus domesticus meridius.
And good morning, Jared, buddy.
Gerodius.
And Kara McIntyre.
Carodius. McIntyreus. I don't know.
What are you
I'm
doing?
giving everybody a...
Great
That's,
names.
You are sleepy.
I am very sleepy. I was up really late smoking meat.
You were smoking.
Smoking pork. And I tell you what, that stuff just fell apart. I put the roast, I consolidated.
Juicy?
Yes.
I can't wait to have
Yes, well,
it
you're going to
when
eat some later.
When I get home, Rachel and I
brought
are going
him
to
a
make
bag.
sandwiches.
I also brought the security guy downstairs a bag. He was pretty happy.
Was he?
He looked like
He
it, yeah.
gave us both bags. We're going to
I
be
gave
good
you
today.
Bags of meat. That's how I roll, you know. Just give everybody bags of meat.
Lunch.
I've got a turkey curing. I don't have the chicken curing. I think I'm just gonna go plain Jane on the chicken.
Is it a whole chicken?
It's a whole chicken.
That's tonight.
I might
Should
actually.
I bring my
I actually might buy a
camping
I'm
set?
tall
starting a
boy
watch
beer.
party, Marcia.
Should I bring my camping setup?
Have you ever seen the tall boy beer? Like you,
Camp out behind
Morning,
your
John
trailer?
Carcroft.
yeah.
I mean, hey, it'd be fun.
I'm going to whap it. John Carcroft is on watch party.
Johnny Rooster. Yeah, why not? But it was still actually smoldering whenever I left this morning.
What's up, Johnny Wooster?
Oh.
What's up? What's up, Johnny Wooster?
Good morning, Larry Milton. Yeah, smoked pork. And these ones are better than the other
Morning,
ones
Larry.
were. I think it's because the other ones I smoked them while they were in the pan. But for like $3 at your local retail
good.
store.
Retailer.
Store.
Good, Larry.
There's
Being
these-
sick
there's
is
these grates.
expensive.
There's these grates that you put on there that you can set there. It's meant to be able to put vegetables and stuff on. a regular grill with wide bars. Well, I just used them, and I didn't cover them after about 3 or 4 hours like I usually do. I just let them stay open, smoke the entire time, and I started. So it was 12 hours.
How'd you keep them moist?
They got a lot of fat in them, and the
fats.
curing that you do.
So when you're going to smoke something for a long time, you want to make sure you have lots of fat on it.
Yeah, well, not just that. You want it to be low and slow. I didn't actually even use a mop
Aren't you supposed
sauce
to cut
on
that
this.
off?
No.
No, then it'll dry out. That's your baster.
Yeah, you make sure the
that's
fat
automatic
side is
basting.
up. Whenever you're smoking, whatever meat it is, you make sure the fat side is up, and as it melts with the
As
heat,
the fat renders down.
it bastes. It's a self-basting, and that's why that bag has a lot of grease in it.
Yeah, so the more
That's what
fat,
that was.
grease-
That's what that was.
That grease has so much flavor in it. My mouth is watering.
and
just
you
thinking
want to
about
have it marbled through as well.
it. Oh yeah, and it
You
was
heard that,
beautiful
Rachel.
roast.
I
was a
found
beautiful
one
roast.
time these.
Morning, Misty Prince.
I found some at this store, and they
There's
had
water
these
dripping.
ribeye steaks, and the marbling was so perfect through.
Oh man.
I think I got two.
Yes, John,
I think
I
I got
hear
two and gave you one. I think
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. And
that was a long time ago.
now the key to cooking a good steak is screaming hot, like on a grill. You want your grill to be screaming hot,
You listening, Rachel?
like really hot, and you got to make sure you let your steak be out and get to room temperature before you cook it, grill it. You know, so if it's at room temperature, you put salt on it. Salt and pepper is that's all you need for a steak like
I'm
that.
coming up on 8 years sober. I always keep losing count.
Wow.
8 years.
September 17th, 2012 was when I went into recovery.
Wow.
For real.
That's huge.
I did have a couple of relapses. They were very short. Yeah, I hear it.
Whoa.
It was building.
See,
huh?
this is why we weren't able
Is
to.
it static?
I need to clean my headphone hole.
Yeah, September 17th, 2012. I did have a couple of relapses, but I
Praise
don't count
God.
those.
You didn't lose your sobriety. You relapsed
Well,
partially.
Yeah, but you came right back, right?
yeah. Well, 2013, April,
Morning, Susan Rose.
I drank for the whole month of April.
I did on the
And
hands.
then sobered up. You showed up at my house right after I had sobered back up. And then I did have a couple of drinks after that. But really what that was, those weren't, I don't know if I'd call them relapses, but what they were was so for me, it confirmed that I'm not capable. No matter what change happens in me in my mind, I'm not capable, or in my body, I'm not capable of drinking and moderately.
yeah.
There's something about alcohol that I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
And once I start drinking, there's no high enough for me out of it. But I love the high.
Yeah.
So it's bizarre. It's that elusive pursuit, that pursuit of that elusive high that is there because I felt it before.
Well, you get that perfect buzz there for an instant.
You think, for while your blood alcohol level is rising, that's the high.
Yeah,
So
and-
it has to be constantly rising in order to feel
And the
like
first,
it's what you want.
the first thing alcohol attacks is the receptors in your brain, or the part of your brain that you use to think of consequences.
Inhibitions.
Inhibitions, yes. And it attacks that first.
Yeah, so so that's what I learned in my relapses. So I don't count them because there was a genuine change in me on September 17th of
We
2012.
miss you too, Misty.
And that was the change that
Well, praise
made
Jesus.
it. Well, and the Lord orchestrated something that rescued me.
Yeah,
Amen.
I think July 25th is when I made the decision
Of 2012?
of 2011.
Was it 11?
Is after the day after my 31st birthday.
Because you were a couple of years in when I started, weren't you?
2011.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a year.
Yeah, and I came up and You like it was hard. It's hard to do when you're by yourself. I said, "You're not by yourself anymore.
You're coming with
You're
me.
coming with me."
And I've been
You're
tagging
not by
along ever
yourself.
since.
Yeah,
Thank
it's like-
God.
Yeah, yeah. We were together so much. We went to a church, and they thought that we were
Gay.
They thought we were
Yeah.
a gay couple.
We already
one
got
lady-
along pretty epically before that too.
Yeah.
When we were drinking
I
together.
think didn't you mention that before?
Yeah, yeah. And
What? Oh yeah. About
I
the
said, "This
church?
is."
Yeah. it was
And then
funny.
I saw the nervousness in the lady, and I was like,
I didn't notice. I'm oblivious to
I
that
did.
stuff.
I noticed. Well, see, I
The
read
body
people's
language
body
tells you a
language.
lot.
Yeah. So then I made sure that she heard me introduce him to the next person. This is my cousin Jay, and I hear her back here. Oh, cousin, great.
yeah.
there was a
She was
feeling of
pleased
relief.
to hear that.
But you know,
Do we have a box of tissue around here?
We don't carry the tissue around here, do we?
yeah, we do.
I think we do.
Just in case you have an issue, here's your tissue.
Sorry.
If you have an issue, get a tissue.
Okay.
Really heavy.
No.
So I'm thankful to God for that. That's the long. This is the by far. This is 5 times longer than I've ever gone sober.
That is huge. You know,
Yeah,
not
in my life
not
since
many
I was
people can
15.
say that.
Since I was
Seriously.
15.
Wow. Not many people can say that. You know, I really I guess I'm allowed to say this, but Celebrate Recovery.
Yeah.
Oh, believe me, Linda, I've been checking and I haven't got
I
my
did
stimulus
it through
check
the AA
yet.
Big Book, but it was a Christian organization, and they were Christian leaders, and a lot of Christian people in there who were all had suffered through the same things that I had, though different substances
Right.
and the same substance. You know, so God just put me in the right place, and then the leaders. So when I went to detox for 3 weeks, they an inpatient recovery.
Yeah,
So
that was
first I
a-
went to detox for 3 days, then I went to inpatient recovery for altogether it was 21 days, and they could not keep me anymore.
Right.
But all of the people there were amazing and brilliant and really understood what I was going through.
And that's
and
good.
Sympathetic and empathetic and loving and Christian.
And you could tell that they were serious and that they were for you and they wanted to be around you and verbally hold your hand, not necessarily hold your hand, but
Yeah.
to be there to a good support group.
And you have to
Christian
really
org-
submit. You have to go all in. You have to really submit to the program.
Yeah. You had,
Because you won't succeed unless you do. You have to break all of your pride and say, okay,
It's up
I
to
will
you.
do it.
yeah.
It's
you
up
have
to you. It's not up to them.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
You have to really. You have to make the decision. Like it had definitely. Now a lot
Morning,
of people.
Kara
A lot of
McIntyre.
people. A lot of people go through. Oh my! I was trying to do something I completely.
You know, the
forgot what I
12
said.
steps are really right out of the Bible. You can
Yeah.
find the same instruction actually right in the Word of God. And so that was what really helped me too, was that it was not contrary to my worship to God, the God that I knew in the program that I was in. I went to Church Army, if you don't mind me saying, and I highly recommend that program. But if you go to that program, you have to submit. You're going to be surrounded by a lot of people who are addicted and some who are really working into
they're
the program and fighting for their lives, and some who are just there to satisfy the courts. And so you'll be in there with a mix of people, and then no matter where you go, you're going to have all of the elements that you need to succeed in sobriety and your worship to God. Truly, sobriety, the key to sobriety is to worship God. And then you will also have all of the elements that you need to go and use successfully and go right back to the ditch.
And I thank God for
Accountability.
Pastor Carey. Yeah.
But you have all you need to go either way. You have to choose the way that you will go. And you have to choose, for me, Church Army, and then I also went to Celebrate Recovery. So surrounding
program.
myself with people who were like-minded, who believed in the same God that I did, who had the same trouble and problem that I did, and were working hard to stay sober, and rejecting those that weren't. And it's not that I didn't want to share the gospel and to share my faith and to share the program that saved my life with the people that were suffering and not succeeding, but to get too involved with them would put me in a compromised situation. And I still find that to be true. I don't hang around with people who drink. And I would love to. I really love and care for the people around me that do drink.
Because you would be a
but-
testimony.
well, it's not that. So it would be good to be around them for the testimony reasons, but not good for the exposure to something that I love so much and that took me so far away from my life and
Right.
from everything that I had wanted in life. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got down to my was brass tacks. It was right after I had a party the night before when I made my decision, and it was I woke up with a really, really bad headache. With
Pardon me.
that's all right. And I just somebody showed me a video of myself the night before.
And
it
that
was
made
not-
your decision real quick.
Was it humiliating
It was to watch it. I was like, I can't.
to the
believe-"
core?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it made me sad.
I'm sure it did.
Well, I mean, it also I was embarrassed. I was like, man, they thought it was. Everyone else thought I was really funny, but you know,
So where did the Lord intervene for you? What did the Lord place in your life that was the right things to help you to get out and stay out?
it was. Well, I had a moment where I was on the phone with a friend of mine who is not a professed Christian, but I mean, apparently he is a Christian, just not really a practicing one. I was on the phone with him, and he's like, "How you doing?" This is at the time it had been. I think I had 2 beers at this point within 2 weeks. I mean, that was a really low amount for me. So, and I had those 2 beers like I don't know, a couple days after my birthday. But I started feeling depressed. You know, that was one of the things that, and I didn't understand why. And then I was talking to my buddy about it. He said, "How you doing?" I said, "Well, man, I don't understand. I'm feeling kind of depressed, and I don't know why." And he said, "Well, did you ever stop and think maybe the last 3 years of your life has been going down the drain, but you just been too drunk or high to really care about it?" Because I wasn't just drinking; I was doing methamphetamines and pretty much anything.
Sex.
Yeah. I was a typical. What do you call that?
Drug addict.
What do they call that?
And I don't mean to
Debauchery.
be lewd. I mean, I don't mean to be
No,
crude.
no.
Yesterday morning, I apologize for being crude, but that's really oftentimes a part of all of addiction. You know, that they say sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Right.
They don't say that for no reason. It's because it is a cocktail of human disruption.
Yep, and believe me, rock and roll can have a big part in drinking.
It's
I
now
don't
the
listen
core.
to it anymore. I don't listen to any music anymore, hardly at all.
I need to listen to more praise and worship music so I can be prepared whenever Freeway starts back up.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I don't listen to it either.
So I don't. Yeah, I don't listen to any music.
I mean, I
here.
listen to your music here on the show, and that's
I've
pretty
yet to
much
get
it.
your CD.
And I do worship at church,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
pretty much my limitation of music. I avoid music because it was such an integral part of my lifestyle and my mode of thinking, and a lot of times not even Christian music, for something about it excites me in a way that brings me to want to jump off a bridge. You know what I mean? I don't mean kill myself. I mean to get that super
Adrenaline.
excitement, adrenaline. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
I mean, it moves you.
well, adrenaline was one of my highs too, and I don't think it's that way for a lot of
Uncle
people.
Ray.
A lot of people don't have that as a desired drug. What is their own adrenaline? But for me, I do. So that's
More
Church
Janine
Army is
or
now
Dennis?
the core.
it is now
yeah.
the core.
And
Yeah, I
Formerly
have a
Church
friend-
Army.
I have a friend from Church Army. His name's Matthew, and he's been coming into my work several times a week, and I get to see him. Yeah, and that's really great because now he's
Hey,
a house
Jordan.
manager. And
Pastor-
they then just recently started a new men's house and made him the house leader to start up a new house.
Oh.
And we were in together. He relapsed for a little while, and has come back. I mean, what a change of life, So there's, it's such
Accountability helps.
an honor. Well,
Carrie's still
yeah.
in charge, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
Pastor
you know
Carey?
him?
Yes.
Yeah.
I met him a few years ago.
He was an integral part of my recovery too. I made some complaints. I brought some complaints to him
Steve's
because
like,
we were
"Let's go."
getting fined for
It's a lot like the freeway houses and things like that. That's what Core is. It's another recovery program,
It's a great program too.
faith-based.
part of it is
recovery
too
program.
getting out the people who are not serious. Because one of the things that there's several things that happened to me while I was in recovery that made me have to choose. And one was we were getting fines for somebody else leaving dishes out, and they were big fines. It's hard
Like
to pay
$50, wasn't
$50
it?
fines. Yeah, and if somebody's doing this 2 or 3 days a week, that's $150 a week, and everybody in the house has to
They
pay
call
it.
that community correction.
Well, it's
Yes.
it's unfair, but the fact is that's part of the lesson is that life is unfair.
Life
and
is
that
unfair.
The consequences of your actions affect other people, and other people's actions affect you. And
Yep.
there's no avoiding that. Life brings that to you. You cannot avoid it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the lesson is, look, life's not fair. You need to move on, accept what's happened, and move on and continue on your way and to do. So I brought my complaints to Carrie because I was paying these fines, and I thought, this ain't right. It ain't fair. I didn't leave the dish out. Why am I paying a fine? That ain't right. I'm not going to pay it. And he said, Jason, this program has worked for many people, and I'm not going to change a program that works. Maybe you need to go somewhere else. And the same way I felt when I was leaving the inpatient I can't leave here because I'm not ready, and I'm still an alcoholic. The sky's blue, the grass is green, and I need a drink. And so at that moment when he said that, I realized, wait a minute, to leave here means to be in the wrong place.
Right.
And it's better to stay here and pay these unfair fines and realize life's not always fair, and you have to move on and do the right thing and take the right steps to do the right thing. And it's okay to do that. It's actually the right thing to do. So I did that, and I did well. But then I also had another moment. I had work to do. I was doing my own work. I was making necklaces and stuff like that, and I didn't go to a meeting. Well, the boss, the house leader said, you cannot stay here to do this. And so I complained, and I said, I've got to do this. I've got an order to fill. Somebody wants this necklace, and they got to pay me today to finish this.
I want to point out that, if real quick, speaking of doing the right thing, go to Axe Media Group and check out all the stuff that we have on there, and the stuff that we're doing. And it's a very enjoyable website to browse. But you can also donate to the cause to help us continue to do the right thing and serve where needed. See, we're not just a media group. Axe Ministry is multifaceted in that we are a support ministry. We support ministers, and we also have programs like autism awareness programs, veterans programs, and things like that. And then for the month of April, any donations are matched dollar for dollar the month of April.
That's huge.
So get on there, and you can leave.
Yes.
You can leave one-time gift, or you could be a monthly partner with us, and that way you'll be able to come on here. You can see what we're doing with the money that you donate, and just check it out.
Yeah.
We would really appreciate you if everybody that watches this would donate $1. We would have enough to cover the overhead.
Yeah, $1 a month would be a tremendous amount because quite a few people are watching.
Yeah.
And
so
we appreciate you watching. Like and share and subscribe. That would be a great help to us. Leave
Yes.
a comment. That's also a great help to us. We really enjoy your comments. So please do that.
share it to your story. Share it to your timeline.
Yep. Share it with somebody you think that the show may actually be helpful to.
Yeah.
By name, go to their actual profile and share it with them.
So any deposits in April on PayPal are matched dollar for
I'm
dollar.
gonna start my monthly contribution this month.
It will be very. Jim would be very happy about that.
Yeah, and so will
And
I.
eventually, I'm going to do the same thing. I still need to go into Helping Hands. I've got that.
You've got the application and all that stuff. Helping Hands Fund is another thing that we have here on
I
Axe.
still haven't
And-
done
and
that.
it
I don't
really
even
works.
think I'm a minister right now.
Yeah, you are.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're licensed.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll talk about all that afterwards.
So anyway, and so I was going to stay home and miss this
Watch how you do
meeting, and
that.
the house manager said, "You're not going to miss this meeting. You are going to be there. You cannot be in this house."
Morning, Mackenzie.
So I ended up having to go, and I was so upset, and I was and he said, "Jason, how was your life before you came here to Church Army?" And immediately, I mean, what can I say? My life was absolute disaster.
The sky was green. The grass was blue.
I was an alcoholic who needed a drink. And he said,
I
you
did
know,
say that backwards.
and so what a blessing, though. One of the most important lessons that you have to learn in recovery for alcohol and drug addiction is that life is not fair. You have to face it head on, overcome it, because it's not a bump that they're going to move out of the road. Life has got bumps in the road.
Sometimes
They're
life
not
has
going to move for
mountains.
you.
Especially
Everybody
if you're a
else goes
Christian.
over them. And the fact is, that's the difference. Is that the people who don't suffer from addiction usually are people who hit those bumps in the road head on, do the repairs, and get on in the same direction they're headed.
Yep.
And for us, bumps in the road like that are unfairness, and so we want to check out of the whole thing.
Right.
We want to check out and say, I'm done with this. But then where does that leave you?
You feeling empty.
And the bump's still there in the road, and the destruction is still going to happen, and there's nothing you can still do about it. But now you're not doing the repairs and getting along on your way to the right, doing the right thing and headed in the right direction anymore. You know, and that was one of the problems that I had, was my rebellion and disdain for authority and my disdain for nature, really, the curse that God put on the earth, that there was nothing I could do. Things were going to happen, and
You were
it wasn't
hitting-
fair, and it's too bad.
You were heading for deep ruts, or you was in those deep ruts. or
I'm still in
chuckles.
the deep ruts now. The thing is, now I know that this is something that occurs in life, and it can't be avoided, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's actually good to hit them head on,
True.
cautiously,
Plow through it.
being as prepared as you can, but there's no preparedness that you can prepare for everything. So you've got to hit them, work on fixing whatever the problem is going to be, even though it's unfair. It's okay. Everybody else has to do it.
And trust in the Lord.
Yeah, and it really is fair, because look, it's part of the curse for sin, and everybody else is going through it. So don't deceive
Causes it to
yourself
rain
and
on the
think,
just and the unjust
why
alike."
is life and the world picking on me? It's so unfair. In fact, it's absolutely fair, because
Normal.
actually life is actually picking on everybody
Normal
else
life
just
is
as well.
just unfair.
Yeah, move on, face it head on, repair
Yep.
the damages, and get going. It's because we wouldn't be here.
I really wish I could think of that song that we started writing whenever Pastor Sammy Nobles was here.
Which
It's
one?
like, just hold on to the promise. Just hold on to the nail-scarred hands. It's really, it's like, my child, why
Just
are
get it
you
back out.
crying?
Just get back on it.
Yeah. It'll, yeah. I have all these great ideas, and then I sit down and it's like,
We should start getting together again and do it. I'll set up. I've got the stuff at home. We should set it up and be loud.
I have an
Barney
idea,
and
but
I
I'm
be
still
gonna,
loud
meet up here.
again. Record a few things.
yeah, Barney and I still meet up here.
Yeah.
So,
I
Would
have
you
an
guys
idea,
wanna
but I'll
meet-
talk to you about it off air.
yeah, well, you don't want someone to steal it, do you?
Would you guys
No,
want to
that's right.
get back together and be loud again?
Yeah,
Because I've got the stuff.
That's why we come up here very late. Well, it's late compared to most others.
Mm.
And we
Because I got the stuff.
You jam out.
We
man.
do.
we can
Jam.
we can rock the foundations over there.
rock the
Shake the
foundation.
pillars, baby.
We could shake the pillars, man.
Shake the
Have
pillars.
you haven't seen the sound system, have you?
That'd be a great
No,
song
and I
title.
can't wait.
Shake
I
the
can't-
pillars.
It is a wall of speakers, basically, and amps.
It is. It is.
I would love to. I would love to.
Like, you've seen that movie Back to the Future.
yeah.
You know,
oh,
in the beginning
where
when
he plays the
he
guitar.
cranks it all up and does
Yeah.
it.
And he
It's
goes-
like that. It's like that.
It did damage my hearing.
I hope I wouldn't be
Huh?
blown
it
away,
damaged. It was
blown
worth
away
it.
and through the wall or anything like that.
Yeah,
You know?
practically.
The speakers that he rebuilt had these crossovers in it where it's basically like a fuse kind of deal, not a fuse.
Oh yeah. There's a fuse. Yeah,
It is a fuse.
it is a fuse.
It actually, whenever you hit so high, it glows. So
And-
we were trying to see how loud we could get it and how long we could make the little. You could see it glowing through the deal, and we wanted to see how long the light would. How it was basically like playing
The
like a little light.
trains and fire engines at Midtown were the test that I
Oh yeah.
was very pleased to pass. We had done a year before with these great big speakers, and it wasn't quite right, but it was very loud.
Yeah.
Morning,
when
Myrna.
but when the train and the fire engines went by, you couldn't really hear the music.
No, it was like you said.
But now when we rebuilt the system the next year, we came back and did it, and it didn't sound as loud. But when the train and
You could hear it.
that fire engine came by, they didn't disrupt the show. That you could still hear everything clearly.
Yeah.
So I mean that was the
That's
difference.
something else.
Of course, during an
Yeah.
autism awareness extravaganza at the racetrack,
Yeah.
we set up the speakers there for Liz Moriando.
Yep.
Is it Moriando? Yeah, Liz Moriando. And she did her whole entire show with our stuff.
Yeah.
And it was you actually I got stuck in the middle of the
Yeah.
track. And
Yeah. During the race.
during the race.
Oh.
And I saw all these people are looking at me and I'm like right in the sun.
And there was a car that spilled out, and
It was heading my direction.
right at him.
And I'm like
Wasn't it a
so
wreck?
how-
It was a wreck.
It was. And I thought, okay, you've never seen a fat guy jump a wall like this, but
You
it's
had
gonna
the
happen.
best
Morning,
seat in
Brian.
the house.
Yeah, it was really loud.
Oh man.
I had sand all over me, dirt and sand all over me, and there were a lot of people probably going, "Man, I wish I was down there."
Oh
with that
yeah,
guy."
no doubt. Yeah, I was.
But
I was teasing you though.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was
yeah.
like, "Here's me up in the air conditioner." It was like, how hot was it too? It was like, wasn't it really
And I
hot?
said it wouldn't be Christian for me to shoot you the bird here, you know, because it was really
I'm sitting
hot.
up in the
like 100 degrees.
in the box office with air conditioning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have given you
skybox.
that would have
Waving.
given you a right to do that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but
Well,
there were a lot
yeah.
of people watching, and I just
He did it
You
textually.
thought better of it.
I did it textually.
Yeah.
I didn't actually use the F word or anything.
No.
No, that's
But
good.
I was like, yeah, it wouldn't be. It's not. It
Kosher.
wouldn't be good for me to shoot you the bird down here, and
No, I didn't see that.
what that
Gary, that's the owner of the track, I think.
But
No,
by
Gary
language,
McSpadden. No, Gary McSpadden is the singer. He was a singer for.
the Gaither
Liz?
vocal band. Yeah,
Yeah.
he passed away at 8:40 a.m. yesterday morning.
Yeah, well, pray for his family.
Yeah, the church family and Carol and the family, Michelle, his daughter, they really need your prayers. So please
Jonathan
pray for the
Christmas?
McSpadden family because they've got a. I don't know what they're going to do for a
Hey,
pastor.
Jonathan,
but-
do you ride?
Yeah, he does.
Why haven't we gotten together?
I don't know. He said that you guys should get together. He's a truck driver, so.
Oh, cool, Dr. Jim. Dr. Jim just sent me a text
Yeah.
message. Oh, was it a group one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think he wants us.
I'm just saying thank you because I don't think it was meant to be said.
Yeah.
But I am so grateful. My life has changed a lot, and it hasn't gotten easier. It has just gotten better.
Yeah.
You know?
The outlook on life is way different.
Yeah.
You know, it actually got harder. Whenever I, rededicated my life, it got harder.
Yeah, but it's more rewarding.
Yeah.
The facing the challenges that come come at us are difficult, and then play with our mind a little bit. But it's when we when we regroup and say, wait a minute, now why are we here and what are we doing?
Right.
Whereas before there was this nihilism and defeatist. I might as well just go drink and party and have fun, and then the problems just mounted. Well, now it's different, and the problems do mount sometimes, but still.
Yeah. What is that old saying? Denial's not just a river in Egypt.
Yeah.
Huh?
Denial.
I got it.
Yeah, like being sick is expensive. I've missed 2.5
Yes.
days this week, which is going to be a good chunk of money. Plus, the doctor's bill and the medication was a lot. It was $150.
If you don't have insurance right now, if you don't have insurance, it can kill
That's
your
with
pocketbook.
insurance.
With insurance.
Combined missed work and the doctor and the medication is going to cost me $300.
I don't want to think about what next week's bill's going to be for me.
It's going to be rough.
it's going to be.
Well,
so,
no, I mean I'm blessed and I'm thankful for all. I mean the $1,200
Stimulus
check that I got
or
is
economic
immensely
improvement, or what do they call it? Economic
helpful. Yeah,
something or other.
it's tremendously helpful.
Timing. That's what Jonathan Kretschmann said.
Timing.
timing. Yeah.
Yeah, we
Uh,
got to get together, Jonathan.
Steve,
I
are
mean,
you and
this
Steve
weekend?
Schultz
Saturday
friends
would be a
on
good
Facebook?
day.
No, but I want to be.
No.
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 Steve, I want to be.
Send him a rend request.
A rem-
A rend request.
A rend request.
friend.
A
Friend
rend
request.
request.
Ta-da!
Da, 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 da. Oh, yes, Mr. Steve,
Are you
I will
bored,
do
Jay?
that.
Jay, do you need attention?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, I'm good on the attention.
I'm not attentive. I mean, I don't need attention.
He says that to me sometimes when I kind of act crazy, and he's like in the middle of doing something. He'll go, Matt, do you need attention?
Yeah.
That's why he looked at me and went, "Do you?" He
Yeah.
did that the other day, or he
today.
did that
Today.
today. Yeah.
Yeah, it was today. Sorry, I keep checking to see if my stimulus money.
Poor, let's pray for Matt.
Yeah.
He really needs that stimulus.
You know what? I really, it's not that, it's really not that bad. I've really,
You've been blessed so far.
yeah.
I'd say take care of your family with it and set yourself economically.
Well, that's
to
what we're
survive.
doing.
Well, the
Rachel and
thing
I are
is-
doing that.
Well, the thing is it's meant for you to spend it.
And if you didn't need it, go ahead and tackle some of those
Believe
things
me,
that have built
Rachel and
up.
I really needed it.
Not really.
It helped us out yesterday.
No, because part of economics is that the individual and the household function well and
Yeah.
and contribute. So if you're using it just for bills or emergencies or putting it in the savings, all of those things help the economy. Because
Yeah.
the better you
Yeah.
position yourself to survive and get through this with the least amount of damage to your household, so you can get back to functioning as a consumer household, the better off you are. So if you if you hold on to that money and you just pay the things that absolutely have to be paid in the time to get you through, or if you use that money to if you don't have any needs and you need it, you can give that money to somebody that is needing it,
Yeah.
and
but
that's a way to contribute to
we're
the
putting it
economy.
away for like a rainy day, and of course I know this is many rainy days.
Yeah.
We're hoping that these rainy days are cut short here soon, but that's what we're doing. We're taking that money and we're putting some of it away, keeping some of it, and then paying the bills that we know that we have a lot of bills, and just paying down like the electricity and just the basic bills, and gas for the vehicle and things like that. But we, as much as we want to spend it on things, we don't want to start taking care of our wants. We want to take care of our needs.
Well, that's what it's for.
And yeah, you don't
And
want to blow it on things
No.
that you don't really
No.
need.
Skylar Carter's downstairs.
Oh man.
So you guys want to talk for a second while I go let him in?
Sure.
Sure, my son's wanting to
morning,
call me.
Cheryl.
Your son's wanting to call you?
By the way, thank you very, very much for praying for Cheryl Williams. She appreciates it, and she's doing good. So,
Okay.
as
Now
far as I
remember,
know,
Tomorrow we're going to talk about the situation that you're going to be in
yes,
next week.
yes.
All right.
So we got to remind people that if you have
pray,
kids,
pray,
if you have
pray,
kids,
pray. So,
pray.
yeah, you guys got this for a minute?
Yeah, there are families. There are people with children, families, mothers and fathers with children who are both laid off right now.
yeah. And people forget to talk about the kids. The kids are suffering in this situation right now too, even though they're home. Wow, we're going to be home. We can play. Well, no, there's education in there, and that's why they have online education right now. And I know that Branson and Hollister, they've set something up to where these kids are getting. Some of them are homeschooled, but a lot of them do go to Branson and Hollister schools, and they're setting something up, I guess.
The long-term effects of this are yet to be seen. I mean, this could be very difficult to recover from, especially if we bring in our economy closer to our nation. So if we start really buying American again, it's going to take time for those products to become available again, because it takes time to set up industries to produce it and commerce to distribute it and sell it. Those are all things that have to be rebuilt, and those are all things that we will need jobs to do.
Yeah,
You know, people will need
I
jobs.
guess Ford and GM, or I guess Ford has to retool and go back to making cars again. But right now, I guess they're still tooled to make these masks, the N95s.
Yeah, and I think they're also making ventilators on.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Which is an amazing testimony of how our country works. But what a great testimony. That's the thing about freedom. You know, we believe that God gave us the freedom to be individuals and to live, and that our government serves us and is a part of us, not that our government is a ruling,
Right.
dominating
We still have some liberties.
tyrant, you know, but that rather it is there to be an extension of us. And I'm grateful for that, you know, and there's a struggle in there because a lot of us have different ideas and opinions about how things should be done. I think the government maybe has gotten too far into some people's private business.
Yeah, I think there's Big Brother. We always say Big Brother's watching,
Hmm.
and we don't know. And I've heard that, you know, with the smart TVs, that people you think you're watching the TV, well, the TV's watching you.
Yeah.
So people that have smart TVs better be careful because you don't know if somebody's watching you. And I just heard that, so it's not like I heard it. It's a true fact.
It
So-
is a concern for me because I don't like it. But if they're watching me, what are they going to see? You know, my opinion is they're just going to change the channel. They're going to be all right, nothing to see here. You know, what are they going to see? They're
Your
going to just
kids
see
will have
me being
schooling
human.
if you're lucky enough to have internet by the end of the month. Some places have decided to call it a
Skylar?
quit for the year.
Yeah. Well, a lot of city and a lot of local and state governments have lost a lot of revenue. Hey, you got something's different about you.
Huh?
Ah, did you get a haircut or something?
No.
I haven't
It's
seen you
actually
in quite a
longer than
while,
I've seen
so-
it.
Oh, you
Oh,
trimmed
that's
it.
what
Looks
it is.
good.
The
Oh, that
beard.
spot. There's the spot right
Good
there.
looking
Yeah.
young man you are.
Yeah. It was nice to see your mom, by the way.
She's here.
Oh, she's here?
Yeah.
Cool.
She's going to be doing the show with me. Here, get back to your show, sir.
Ah, we're okay.
Yeah, it's a,
Andrea?
Hello.
we got the Skylar Carter and Andrea.
I love your hat.
One of the black.
USA, way to go.
Bling bling.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
That is a very sparkly American flag hat you've got
You
there.
bedazzle everything that you have, don't you?
No, she said she didn't do that. You didn't
didn't got it
bedazzle
that
that.
way.
She's always styling.
You didn't put the rhinestones on there, did you?
No?
No, I bought it. She would.
You're always styling, Andrea.
She would, though, huh?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Is she crafty?
Glam all.
Huh?
Glam all.
Yeah, yeah.
Calls her Glama. That's funny.
I like it.
That's funny.
That's adorable.
Glama. Okay. So here in about 5 minutes, we're gonna call it. We've been calling it about.
5 minutes, 3 minutes. Or
So yeah.
Wow. Huh? It's like 1:45. Are we ending early?
No, not yet. We're gonna. I said in about 5 minutes we're
Oh.
gonna end early. We do end early so we can wipe everything down and
Yeah,
sterilize.
that makes sense.
Sterilize
Morning,
everything.
Tina Richards. By the way, Tina Richards is going to be my guest on my show in a couple weeks.
In a couple of weeks.
Yep, and then Brian Duncan's coming back this Monday.
Oh, so next Monday, Brian Duncan.
Again,
Of-
yep. We got to finish that, interview.
Yeah.
He was actually he had Ambrosia, the group Ambrosia. Hey, have you ever heard of Ambrosia? They were
Isn't it
70s.
a color?
I know ambrosia.
Yeah,
I love ambrosia.
Or is it a perfume? Is it a color or a perfume? What is it?
it's a music group.
It's a flower,
right, but they're named
It-
after something.
Ambrosia?
Yeah.
Well, my grandmother used to make a fruit salad and call it ambrosia, so I don't
Ambrosia salad. I've had Ambrosia salad.
I've heard of rosacea.
So that's a really a
That's
good
a
name.
cool
when
name
it
for a band.
Makes you think of
Rosacea.
so many
Rosé.
different things. It means something
Rosacea.
to everybody.
Rosacea.
Where rosacea is it rosacea with the discoloration of the face?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
I've never heard
Rosetta
it called
Stone.
that.
Rosetta Stone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, isn't that
That's
like
an
a
actual.
reading-
That's an
Tell you-
actual stone
Okay.
that
No,
they found.
it's a lesson that teaches you language.
yes, but
I know that's what I was gonna say.
but it also no seriously. The reason they call it that is because of the Rosetta Stone.
The Rosetta
It is a stone that's got the same wording in 3 different languages, and that's how they were able to. And it's an ancient stone, so that's how they were able to decipher like certain ancient writings because of the Rosetta Stone.
Oh, that's different. I've never heard that one. I'm sure it's true. I'm
It
not
is
saying
true,
it's
yeah.
not. But
I know.
I've
I
never
know what
heard
you're
it.
talking about.
I've never heard that
I
explanation.
didn't know that was the Rosetta Stone. That,
Yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking about the language tool.
So was
yeah,
I.
that's yeah. Well,
Go high tech, man. Go high tech.
Go high tech. Yeah. Well, I mean, they have
That
these.
stone probably was high tech.
They have these
back in
great
the day.
courses on Prime, Amazon Prime or whatever, where you can watch these different.
Different stuff.
Yeah,
Different
different
stuff.
stuff.
You can watch.
Like I'm watching a thing about decisive battles in history, and how they were.
Wow,
yeah, and
that's deep.
it's in the lecture form. Like
How
the
many
guy
hours
standing
of lecture are on that?
Ooh,
Oh,
that's deep.
On the decisive battles.
there's probably about 20 hours,
20
give or
hours.
take.
Wow.
Nice. So you
Well, I
know
mean,
it's
they're
pretty
like
exhaustive.
they're like 30 to 40 minute lectures each one of them. I think they're 30 minutes each one, and there's like
That's a lot.
40 of them. So
And that's recorded history.
yeah, that's even time before Jesus.
Right.
You know.
Goes back before
You
that.
know what always gets me is people still they will debate with you over the existence of Jesus, but then and they're like, oh well, that was 2,000 years ago, but then they'll believe what they hear about in the writings about like
Anything
Alexander the
else?
Great and stuff like that.
Anything else?
Yeah, anything else. So Alexander the Great was around at the time that Daniel was in Babylon.
Most of the great, actually all of the great God-resenting atheists out there who are so well known, who all of their arguments that they put forward are the ones you hear everybody quote. They don't even know it.
Yeah.
It's just something they heard that works to shut people up, Well, all of those greats, they had. What were we talking about?
Alexander the Great.
That's how I feel.
Well, they all admit that Jesus was a real person.
Well, yeah.
So they've done the actual historical study and
Yeah.
understand that he was a man who lived that people did actually believe was the Messiah.
And they used corporal punishment on him. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
actually
and that
recorded.
He was crucified.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jesus,
Yes.
King of the
I mean,
Jews.
so if they're admitting it, come on.
yeah.
Maybe you're not listening closely, but if you listen closely and watch all of their works, you find that they all don't deny spirituality, because they've all come to a place where they've concluded there is something more to us
Yeah.
than just flesh and blood.
Yeah. There's bone too.
Right. Well, yeah, but
I'm just being honest.
yeah. So they
You
all
are-
and
man,
they
you-
and they all
Are you
admit that
waking
as
up
well.
or are you still sleepy?
I'm still sleepy.
One of the
But
worst ones at the end of his life had Christians writing him letters and sending him stuff and praying for him and telling him they loved him and all that stuff. And in one of his last interviews, he talked about how amazing the Christian community was to treat him that way, considering who he was and what he did for
Yeah.
a living.
Yeah.
And that he was very grateful for it. And he even said accidentally, somehow he said something, I can't remember the way he worded it, but it was kind of like,
It's like Jesus was either the Son of God
No.
or a complete madman or something like that.
no, that was another one. But he said something like, "I thank you for your prayers, and I hope it works."
Yeah.
But and then had to backstep and say, "Well, I know it won't, but
Right. I hope it works, he says.
yeah."
Well,
But
God,
if
God will deal
ever
with a
in my
man's spirit
life
in the
I-
twinkling of an eye.
Yeah, he was like, if ever in my life I really had the hope that something like this was real, it's now, because I'm dying of cancer and there's nothing they can do.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of
So-
changes your perspective on
But
things.
yeah, it does, and the greatest ones with the greatest arguments, and the reason why they're greatest, and I know that they are, is because they're the ones who everybody quotes without realizing. They actually quote the arguments that these people have put forward. And what it turns out, if you really listen to all of their works, really what it is for some reason they are either God resentful or probably something more to do with religion
Yeah.
resentful.
A lot of people are. They're like,
So they
I'm
were
not religious.
abused religiously.
I say,
in
good. I'm
some
not
way.
religious either.
I'm not religious.
I am a Christian.
I have a relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
We were going to start a church and call it the First Church of the Jesus Freaks or something.
yeah,
to
yeah.
that extent. So,
Yeah. Well, see, I was raised
welcome
Christian.
to Bible Thumper Baptist.
Yeah, I was raised Christian, but Old Testament Christian. So I was basically disciplined with the Old Testament and the condemnation of hell for my actions. So that was kind of a two-edged sword in a way. Though the teaching, my mother was a good teacher of the Word.
BTB.
She really was.
Yeah.
She corrected us with the Word of God always,
Yeah.
or there was no correction. So she at any time she corrected us, that's what she used.
Well, it's time for us to get out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of
Aw,
here.
Again.
All right. Well, I'd like
I'm
to thank
ready.
everybody for joining us on the morning drive today. We'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for Skylar Carter and his lovely mother, Andrea, and the Power Hour.
The Power Hour.
Yeah. Anyways, till tomorrow, my friends. God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
and this has been
The Morning Drive.